Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fortnite Save the World video. Today, we will continue the tutorial guide in the new account. If you didn't watch the other videos, check them first, since this video will continue after them. You can check them here, and I will leave the links in the description too. So, what we will learn today. After finishing the third defense, there are 3 missions to play before the 4th defense. I will explain the new features we got from this first one, the collection book. I made a separate video about it since it may confuse some people if I added it with a defense video. But don't worry, it's simple and very easy to understand. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. And don't forget to use code Larsis in the item shop if you want to support me, helps me a lot. And without further ado, let's get started. First, we got 500 research points and unlocked Lars, the scientist. We will get access to him and the research tab after the next mission here. So, I will explain everything about him in the next video. Now you have access to the collection book. And as it says, collection. Simply, it's a book that has a list of every item in the game. All the weapons, traps, heroes, survivors, defenders, everything. But what is the use of it? Let's simplify it. We add our extra copies into it, to gain rewards, by increasing its level. For example, let's say I have 2 copies of this hero. So, I will add the extra one to the collection book like that. I only have 1, but I'm just explaining how it works. And this increased my level to level 2, so, I got 2 gift boxes. Here I can pick a class of the 4 classes in the game, and I will get a random hero for this class. I will pick Constructor for example. And we got another gift because we leveled up the collection book for the first time. You can get anything in the game from these rewards, like upgrading materials, heroes, survivors, even mythic survivors. Even we used to get V-Bucks at some levels, but not anymore. But of course, the better rewards come from the higher levels. You can find a lot of lists online for all the rewards you can get. But don't just go and add anything you have into it just for these rewards, and I will explain why in a moment. Now you should know the main idea of the collection book, so I will explain more details about it. As I mentioned, we add our extra copies into it, like heroes and weapons. But you can add anything into it even if you have 1 copy. But I don't recommend doing that unless you know what you are doing. Because you may add a trap or a weapon into the collection book. Then you regret that, because you found that you need it. Because at early game, you get a lot of schematics and heroes, and you won't use most of them right now. And some people start adding everything into the collection book randomly just to get the rewards. Like a legendary weapon or a chest. Which is wrong if you don't know what you are doing. Because if the weapon or the hero is legendary, doesn't mean it's good. Even if it's good, doesn't mean to waste everything just for 1 item or 2. So, don't rush, and add only your extra copies, till you progress in the game and know what you need and what you don't. Also, when I say extra copies, doesn't mean having 2 copies or more of the same item. For example, we have 4 rarities of this hero. Uncommon, rare, epic and legendary. If I have all 4 of them, I only need 1. The legendary one of course. So, I can add all the other 3 if I have them. Then I add the legendary copy if I got another. Same thing goes for the rest. But it's a bit tricky when it comes for survivors. Every survivor has its own bonus like I explained before. Like traps damage, traps durability, weapons damage, health, and etc. And sometimes we use epic or rare survivors instead of legendary ones just because they have the bonus we need. Even the common and uncommon ones. Mostly we do that only with the traps durability survivors. So, I recommend not to recycle or add survivors with the durability bonus into the collection book, till you know that you don't need them. I will explain this later on, don't worry. Let's say you added something in the collection book accidentally. Don't worry, you can unslot it again. But of course, it comes with a cost. This one requires 50 fluxes, which is a lot, and doesn't worth it of course. And you can get heroes and weapons from the collection book too, even if you haven't added a copy of them before. For example, I can recruit this hero with 300 manuals and 100 flux. There are 3 types of flux in the game. Rare, epic, and legendary. You can get them from the weekly shop, ventures, leveling up the collection book, and some quests I think. The easiest one of course is the weekly shop. You can get a 100 legendary flux every week for only 750 gold. Which is very good. Sometimes we get more, but it's rare to happen. And to be honest, legendary flux is the only one you should invest in. Back in the days we used to buy all of them. But now, you can get a lot of epic and legendary heroes, survivors, weapons, and almost all the traps easily. So, we focus only on the legendary ones to get a specific weapon or hero we need right now. But of course you can buy all of them if you want. And don't just go and flux any weapon or hero. Pick only what you need the most and can't wait till it's available again in the shop or the timed events. And there are some rare items you can't flux. Since they are rare event items, and you need vouchers for them. Like this hero for example. There are two types of vouchers in the game right now. Hero vouchers, and weapons vouchers. You get only one of each every Ventures season. So be careful and do your research if you are still new to the game. And there are items that you can't get from the collection book at all. Some require playing a specific mission like the MSK weapons for example. Some require finishing a quest or something. A lot to talk about here, but these are the basics that you should know. The rest are very simple, and you can figure them easily. And now you can also recycle schematics and retire heroes, survivors, and defenders. This is the features I explained in this video. When you invest your resources and XP in a hero or a weapon, then retire them later when you get a better copy. For example, I can level up this uncommon copy of Base Kyle. Then recycle him later when I get a better copy. I will get all the resources back, but of course I will lose the copy I will recycle. But mostly you won't need to do that, for common and uncommon copies. As I mentioned, you can get a lot of rare and higher item easily. One thing I want to explain about when I say do your research before using your flux or vouchers. We have a lot of heroes and weapons in the game. You get some of them from the storyline and side quests. But the rest comes from llamas and timed events. And they are much more than the main and side quests hero. Like I explained in this video, every few weeks or months, we get new events and llamas with every new season. Every season has its own heroes and weapons. For example, now I have the Blockbuster event, which gives me these heroes. But after this event ends, I have to wait a whole year for this even to happen again. Let's say you really need a hero or a weapon from a specific event. And this even just ended or has ended 2 or 3 months ago. And you don't want to wait all that time. So, you will flux or voucher what you need. But some people do that, then realize that the hero or the weapon they got will be available in the shop a few days or few weeks. And as I mentioned, vouchers are a bit hard to get, especially if you are new to the game. So, it's better to search for the event time. If it's near, wait and save your flux or voucher. If not, and you really need that hero, you can get it from the collection book. When it comes to using flux, it depends on how much flux and manuals you have. At early game, you won't have that much, so do your research here as well. But at endgame, you will have a lot and can use as much as you like. But reasonably of course. And that's it. Don't forget to use code Larsis in the item shop if you want to support me. I will explain Lars and the research tab in the next video. With the 4th defense. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, see you in the next one.